fuck this up real fast.
Oh, jeez.
I'm fixing to fuck you.
I sent for it.
I'm fixing
price
the
page.
fuck
He's
yeah.
like, I trailed them all, and I'm like, holy shit, you didn't have to trail all 5 of them.
Who said that?
My buddy Brent, they just
Oh,
price
gotcha.
picks. He trailed all 5 of mine. Like, you didn't need to
You
do
must
all
have a
5.
lot of faith in you.
I don't know.
I would too.
I wouldn't.
His biggest win is because of me.
Excuse me.
Oh, coming up the gates hot.
I had won 1,600 before I even hit that 1,000.
Yeah, in separate increment. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I'm saying your
That was
biggest
my
win.
dick. That was my balls to the wall. Fucking, that was my dick.
That was I know.
That was my dick.
I know you throw your balls in the wall. I throw my dick on the table. We are not the same.
We're not the same.
Honestly, I should have put $100 power play on that one I did for tonight's game. Fucking Mahomes over 300 total rushing and receiving yards. Kelsey with 1 touchdown and Henry with 1 touchdown.
We're live, by the way.
We are live.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Hello to everybody.
Oh,
Yeah. What's Tanner doing?
Sleeping. Sleeping, yeah.
This is his first show he's missed.
He came home at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah. I was just getting curious.
Yeah.
What he was doing.
No, necessarily saying in the trenches.
Yeah, lost church eras.
Alright.
It did be like that. Is Tyler still coming or no?
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard from him.
No free ads, but it's pretty good.
This bowl of red.
That's
all over
it, dude. Easy.
Yeah,
Guys, I saw something though. I wish I would have thought about this. Some guy started drinking Red Bull in 2002 and sued him for $30 million because they didn't give wings. One case.
That's why they probably started doing the like little asterisks next to the GC wings and commercials.
Are there people who like professionally lost it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guy with the
Oh, yeah.
coffee and McDonald's.
The dude, the guy who sues every job he works for and gets paid by Ocean.
It's a dub. It's a win for the system.
It's
Oh,
just not
System.
checking out. Someone's got to fuck the system.
Yeah, system's out here fucking all of us. It's nice to see it, you know. Throw the arm behind and be like,
Good to see some calls. Intimidate Patrick Mahomes' voice.
I'm here. I'm here. Listen, Brittany, I'm playing Call of Duty with the boys tonight. You will not interrupt me.
Go to.
Go Chiefs. I'm the greatest quarterback of all time. Listen, okay? I think I have something to say about that. It's a good friend of mine down in Florida named Tom. He's going through a really rough time now. Tom, I know a good divorce attorney. Call your boy down here, okay?
That's how we start the show.
That's how we start the show.
Welcome.
Welcome in, everybody.
Oh, Darius Tony set the play tonight.
Oh,
After
excited
faking
for
his
that.
way out of a 5-1, 5-2 team.
Yep.
Go
I
to-
don't know. Whatever they got on that fucking airplane.
Dude,
is
he had that
weird.
189 yard. He had that 189 yard game last year, and then they just quit playing. It made no sense.
Yeah, Mike Lennon, fucking Joe Judge.
Honestly, I think what I'm kind of gathering, just around the scene, I don't know Kadarius, so maybe I'm misjudging. Seems like a rather exuberant personality. Someone who, if not in a system will probably, or on a team where the first impression is wrong, I think it could very well go downhill from there. It seems like he's someone very, very personable and has a huge personality and also believes in that personality. Not to call him stubborn, not to call him an asshole or anything, but I can see where that maybe doesn't gel in New York, but I can also now see, after all this time going free and seeing how Andy Reid was able to not manage, but allow Tyreek. And I mean, you should always allow those players to be themselves. Not to the point of like an Antonio Brown, but
Yeah.
Tyreek's always been
That's how you
Tyreek.
get the most out of it.
Exactly. Let them be themselves, and I think Kadarius will get a chance to do that. Obviously, putting the puzzle piece there fits.
He's
you have
explosive.
you have the most explosive dynamic receiver in that draft class going to KC. If the math adds up, it's a fucking steal. for you
One
guys.
thing I've got, so it sounds like Fred Beach actually went back to Patty back in August to talk to him about reaching out to get Tony. And then back in the draft, too, we had our eyes on him. We were able to snag him. So It's been a move in the
Well, because he
making
got
for a while.
taken 19th. No one saw that coming in that draft.
Yeah, no, that was a huge
huge
fuck up.
Yeah, I think he was a late round 1, early round 2. I
Yeah.
had him as a mid round 2.
Yeah, he went way
mid
early.
round 2. Like the playmaking ability was there, but you almost
Well,
viewed
he
him
had
as
a great combine.
you also viewed him, I think, as like a more raw, maybe like Debo type.
I think that's right when Tyreek was, hitting his strides too of starting to stand out. So I think that's what was the
Yeah, you don't.
interest there with it.
You don't. The hard reality of the Chiefs, I think, this year is you're probably just as successful with Tyreek, but like your defense isn't as good, and you aren't spreading the ball out as much. Like, you don't bring in Juju without trading Tyreek. Obviously, Sky Moore, I still believe in his future potential.
Yeah.
But like just going forward, none of these moves happen, and Tyreek's there because Tyreek demands the bag, and that kind of locks down the receiver position.
No, exactly. That was one of my biggest things when Tyreek left, though, is the fact that we're going to see a whole different offense and a whole different scheme before it. In a sense, was predictable to me. You could always stop it, but you still see Travis. Everyone knows Travis still is going to be the number one target, but Andy's just a fucking genius. And I'm blessed to have him.
Yes.
And I fucking love Andy.
Until he retires and you guys
Wins a Super Bowl and go get a double cheeseburger. Yep, that's my fucking guy. I love
I
him.
don't know, Jace, what was your, before we start dropping into games, trade deadline kind of surprise for you? Like, what really kind of stood out from the trade deadline for you?
I was really surprised that Cam Akers didn't get traded. It wasn't a trade that happened. That was the biggest surprise.
It sounded like no
It
one
was just
wanted
counting
him.
down. Well, I think they wanted a second.
But
and
maybe
a fourth
asking
one.
too much for him.
And to pick up this money. It's like that's
Actually,
that's
I would
too
say
much.
they should. They could.
That was the
You get a
biggest
fifth-
surprise.
You get a 5th-year option out the deal, though, too. Like,
That's a nice thing
Oh,
with Tony. Should get his fifth
It
year with that.
wasn't a surprise because it's like, let's be honest, I'm not surprised. But the Packers not even attempting to get a receiver.
So
Rodgers
they did
was-
actually.
They did.
Well, I know they tried to get Claypool, but
No, and they also I was just gonna say.
Oh, I'll let you run with that, go ahead.
Yeah, they tried trading for Waller actually from the Raiders. I apologize, this thing just I can't see it any closer. So I was literally just reading the fucking tweet. I was like, oh yeah, right here. They tried trading for DJ Moore, Waller, Chase Claypool, and then Jerry Judy too.
were they just not?
They
offering
just
an
weren't
offer?
able. I would imagine so.
Interesting note I did see this week. They offered the exact same compensation as the Bears, but because the Steelers viewed the Bears as a worse team and more likely to finish worse off, even though they're both 3-5 right now. Keep in mind, same record. The season ends today. Actually, they're one pick difference, but they believe that the Bears were going to be worse off still with Claypool, so they made the trade. But yeah, apparently the Packers offered the exact same compensation.
well, originally the Bears offered the Ravens pick. And then the Bears had to switch it to the
I'm actually excited to see Claypool in that system with Fields. That gives him a legitimate target.
I've said it about Claypool. If he is going to succeed, he needs to be a number one. He won't be a top 10 receiver, but as the number one option in that offense, a running-based offense, I don't hate the fit. I actually kind of like it.
Apparently, they have the same kind of situation that like AJ Brown and Hurts have. Like they throw together in the offseason, they have a little bit of chemistry outside of their own teams, and they actually talked about trying to link up together at like the combine when they were trying to get drafted. So, however that goes, I believe that Fields was like a push to get Claypool there as well.
I think that'll be huge, yeah, for the whole offense as a whole. Moody's going to finally start to be able to kind of fit back in.
We'll talk about a great compliment.
That's
when
what
you
I'm
talk
saying,
about
though,
a
because
big
you finally
body,
got the big
physical.
body. You have a true wideout, and then you have Moody that can kind of fit that sort of chess piece that you can move around.
And then Velvis Jones can finally fit into his role of not having to be the number one guy, but being the number 3 and taking less
They have an
pressure off.
interesting little core. I like seeing
honestly,
that.
and I think Cole Kmet's a very underrated tight end. He's a very good tight end.
It opens it up for commits.
That was another big thing. Cole Kmet and Claypool played together, and that was another part
Notre
of
Dame,
their.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was another part of their how Fields and Claypool started throwing together.
Connection.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Interesting.
I'm excited to actually see Claypool in that system because that in like 5 weeks.
I think another one. Another one's gonna
To the moon.
Yeah. Hello, Chance.
Hello, brother Chance.
Probably the last one for me before we start getting up on the games that I just want to talk about is probably Roquan. Ravens is kind of a surprise
I
destination,
wasn't expecting that.
but great fit. I mean, obviously, you think middle linebacker, you think the Ravens. You know, you talk about Ray Lewis, but also, I mean, C.J. Mosley was there. They still have Patrick Queen, though, so I know they kind of run that 3-4 system. So I think Roquan honestly might go off ball. Like you're talking definitely the will in that defense. If not, probably Sam in like a 2 linebacker package. But he's not going to be rushing the passer.
That's going to be
Like in that 3-4, but that's going to be interesting and dangerous for the Ravens.
But it's not like he's a bad coverage backer either.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's where he actually excels. I think he's underrated in coverage. I think even coming out of the draft, one thing I liked about him and where I wanted us to grab him was like he's a hell of a run stopper, like the elite run stopper coming out of college. But you don't see middle linebackers who are great run stoppers in college also come out with a good preset of coverage skills. Like they can cover most NFL tight ends. Type of thing, and it's a good kind of pillar to grow off of. And I think Roquan in Baltimore, especially in that Wink Martindale-based system, like it's gonna be interesting. He's gonna be a chess piece.
No deep so mistake.
You ready to kick us off here, Siggy?
Yeah.
Sig and beer.
So, we kick it off to, because my ESPN is set this way, we're starting with Colts and Patriots.
Surprise! Shocker!
Really?
It's cool. Mine always starts with the Raiders. Let's talk about it then.
They got New England -5, 11 o'clock. I believe this is in New England, so doors closed.
Sorry, I apologize. Don't mean to butt in. Back to the trade deadline. Naheem Hines, how did you feel about that?
Hated it.
Where'd he go?
He
Buffalo.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
But
Zach Moss in the pit.
Zach Moss didn't pick, but he needed to. Like, they needed to send him somewhere where he had a chance. Like, we're obviously not where we thought we were going to be this season. Matt Ryan really fucked us. We should have just went with Sam Ellinger from the get-go.
I love the
Check the
Lakers. Matt
dates.
Ryan just white as fuck.
Matty
Dropping
Ice.
threes, sending games to overtime in LA.
It's hilarious.
It's a new Matty Ice, alright?
There's a new Matt Ryan out there. Okay.
But, with that being said, I think that he's going to ball there and he's going to fit in that system really well. They know how to use those pass-catching running backs, and he's honestly one of the best receiving running backs in the league. Like, you can't argue
He's
that.
only 25 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he just came. He was a rookie 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, he's got plenty of time, other stuff to go, and we'll see from there.
Tanks James Cook's value in fantasy though too.
Big, yeah.
Well, I think
But,
even
I
in
mean,
Buffalo.
he's going to take Zach Moss's carries.
No, I'm gonna get
He's going to take Zach Moss. He's going to take Zach Moss's carries, and he's going to end up taking Singletary's job. And then I think it'll end up being a James Cook and behind the backfield in the year too.
I think they're a lot big on Singletary that everyone really wants to.
I mean,
He had
he's,
a really
he's
good
stuck
game
around
last
no matter how many times they say or they suggest all offseason that they're going to be. And yeah, they drafted James Cook in the 4th, but you had options to take Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you had options to take that prime back that everybody thought that you were going to take.
But Kyrie Elam there at 24.
Oh, I'm not arguing the
wasn't-
picks, but I'm just saying I'm using this as a defense for the Devin Singletary belief argument.
Yeah.
Like, they've kind of stuck by him when they have been linked to a lot of chatter, either trade or draft
Whatever
or
the
free
case may be.
agency. Like, they've been linked to everybody from Christian fucking McCaffrey on down.
Yeah.
But yet here, Devin Singletary kind of remains still the guy who's getting the most snaps in that backfield.
Exactly.
I think they just prefer committee, but I still think Singletary is the head of that
He is
committee.
definitely their one. Yeah.
That being said, though,
Back to the
back
game.
to your game.
New England -5.
I don't like the spread. I don't. I think
No.
Indy got shaded, and it was the first time a quarterback was starting. So Eilinger didn't look bad. Honestly, I got Indy with a win today. But not only that, hammer the fucking spread on that. Like, I'd take Indy by 3.
What's the over under?
43 or something. 37.
Honestly, even if it's 37, I'm just gonna shoot it. I think it's gonna be a very close.
I was just
score.
going to say, though, for the sole fact
Spread
that
on this one.
Patriots against the younger QB typically can scoop very fucking well.
When I was looking at Prize Picks, I noticed that there is no lines that allow the Patriots kicker or the Colts kicker. And
Really?
I think it's because they know
I was
it's
40.5.
Over
It's gonna
40
be-
and a half.
gonna be a
40.5.
kickback.
I would hit the under, and I do think the Colts are going to win. If you go back and you watch all of Sam State, he wasn't taking the gambles that he needed to. He missed a lot of open receivers, but he also wasn't getting rid of the ball. He wasn't making dumb picks. He was moving when he needed to move, and I think that is something that we're going to see. I think you're going to see a little more incorporated, just quarterback runs off the draw, right off the rip, are going to be coming off this play a little more.
Some design runs.
Some design runs.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Sig, but didn't they take him like in the third round? Wasn't he a third round pick? Sandlinger?
Sick fifth.
Really?
They were a big.
I was happy. I mean, if you go back and look at it, though, it's not like he was ever bad. Like, if you go watch his tape, the only thing he never really had down in Texas was, like, a true number one receiver. Like, he never had that guy. But you go and look at the receiving core that he has, and if he can put it together with his arm talent and the talent that he has, he could make some things work. He can win some games that he's not supposed to.
Upset K-State last night, baby.
But with that being said, I'm also going to be taking the Colts with the spread
I would.
and the under. Also, Mac Jones has just looked like shit since he's returned.
That is true.
That's true. I'd probably take the aggressive spread, and I don't know why. I'm just going to say the over, though. There was no rhyme or reason.
Fair enough.
I'm just a fiend for the over.
All right.
Even though it's completely irrelevant, I'm going to go for the over.
You know what? I'm over your fucking commentary.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you
All
get.
right.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I got one.
That was a good one.
Get over on your commentary.
I like today,
Oh,
you know, you like that?
Fucking Stuart.
Returns.
Really?
What?
You like that.
You like that?
With those eyes right now.
So,
You like that?
you got Vikings Commanders. Heineke Cousins.
Oh. Sounds about white.
Over is
Sounds about white.
Over is 43.5. Spread is Minnesota -3. They're left hand up. They're giving
Fun
no
fact.
respect.
So I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Hold on.
Fuck
Fun fact about this. This is going to be a flag football game played in a public park because it is so white. So,
Literally.
and it is now ultimate frisbee.
How does that game have a lower over-under than Colts Patriots?
I don't know. Hammer the over and hammer the Vikings. Honestly,
Minnesota really hasn't been too impressive since week
Oh,
one.
I base at 45.
Who?
Oh, I
Minnesota.
base at 45, not bad.
They're 5-1.
Well, I know.
Six
I'm
and
just
one.
saying, I feel like they haven't been too impressive within that stretch.
Yeah, they're not putting up 38
That's
points a
enough.
game, yeah.
Like, the offense looked phenomenal. week
Jettis
one.
hasn't scored since week 1.
That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah, like,
I
Thielen's
think
had a
he's-
much better year, too, than everyone fucking expected.
Every year he does.
I know,
Yeah,
that's
literally.
Yeah, I've tried to trade him so many times, and people
This
say,
is the
"Dude,
year
like,
he's
this
going to
shit."
fall
Like,
off.
he's relevant.
He never does.
Because everyone wants to double Jetta. So
Yeah.
guess who's open?
And
Reliable.
Osborne's been coming
He's
off
had a
the shell, too.
pretty good year, too. I'll give him that.
I also think it's funny that Jalen Reagor has more touchdowns with the Vikings than he does with the Eagles.
I mean,
Yep.
Philly's ruthless, dude. If you go there and they don't like you, like, when you
You're
get
nuts.
done, it's just
They was
Can you
catching-
imagine 21, 22-year-old
That's-
kid in a whole fucking city turns on you within a year?
in Philly, though, like some ruthless
Yeah, like-
motherfuckers.
They was catching them.
Yeah.
That's on the
Oh,
fucking
my
news.
God.
You're catching strays,
Yeah.
my guy.
They was
Like,
catching them.
They're the most savage fan base
Literally.
in the NFL. Like,
That's what makes
even
Philly,
over Raider
though.
fans.
That's what makes Philly Philly. Like, it's
But-
neat,
With that being
talking
said,
about brotherly love.
left hand down, we're going with Vikings, and I'm actually going to be hammering the spread. -3 with the over is, I think Kirk Cousins is going to put up 30 today. He's
I do
returning back to the franchise that kind of slated him. I think this is just going to be a big fuck you, especially with one of the last times Dan Schneider might be in the building.
I would love for him to get fucked.
Can I do my take offensively because one of these
Yes.
teams got my last head coach fired? Someone who deserved it, but all right, now knock on wood if you're with me.
No.
For the Vikings, man, I'm talking about it. Kirk Cousins, man. I'm telling you what, he's Cole's cashed up. He's got the bling. He hit the Country Kitchen buffet at noon, and at this 1 p.m. game, he's gonna ball out, man. Knock on wood if you're with me.
Knock on wood if you're with me. That
Now-
shit is fucking classic.
Dude, it's Sunday afternoon, Kirk. I don't want to read too much into the matchup. I don't think the Vikings are overly impressive, but they win. They win. I think Kevin O'Connell has the team believing. Like, Vikings have never been an elite team the past few years, but they've always been a good team, and they should have been a playoff team. I think we all agree their problem was winning games late. Now it seems like they can.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it simple as that. They look good this year. Not only do I think that they're going to hands down win the NFC North, I think they'll be the first team in the NFC to clinch the division. Because the South, the East, and the West are all really close right now. Minnesota is running away
Oh, yeah.
with the NFC North, and I think they close. They even if Rodgers comes back around the second half of the season, they haven't shown me shit to say that they're going to contend with what Minnesota can continue to do.
It's also not Rodgers has to come around; it's the receivers.
I was
Oh, yeah,
just gonna
yeah.
say the thing of them not making a move.
No, I'm just saying like Rodgers can't carry them this
yeah,
time.
exactly.
Yeah.
Without them making a move, it's tough to believe in that.
I think Vikings are going to put up over 30 today too. I think JJ is going to get his first touchdown since week 1, and I'm going to respectably disagree that they'll be the first team to clinch in the NFC. I still think the Eagles will just because their schedule is so easy. But besides that, I agree with everything you said.
That's
Sure.
true. Yeah, I mean that is true due to scheduling. I will say I don't know.
I just see the Giants and
I
Cowboys
was just gonna
fighting
say-
to make that. That wasn't so much maybe a dig at the talent, like saying the Vikings are better than the Eagles. But
I was
will
just gonna say. So if Minnesota wins today, does Green Bay play today or are they off this week?
They play today. They play the Lions.
I also think the Giants kind of got exposed by Seattle.
Bro, they don't tell me who their best wideout is. That's how you do some of the ball.
ball boy.
Yeah,
number-
that's what I'm saying.
Ball boy number
That's
4.
what I'm saying. They don't have shit. So for that team to do what they've done, to me, is extremely fucking impressive.
No, but I'm saying like their defense. So like their defense, the first 5 weeks.
Hey, we'll
like,
talk.
Gene-
We'll talk about the Giants when we get there.
Get to them.
Giant or
When
Geno's
we get there.
Geno's been exposing everybody though.
Ain't right back.
I'm saying.
Well, it sounds
Geno
like
fan this year.
we're all
yeah.
on the same page for this one.
Yep.
Unless you're taking Commanders.
No. Yeah, I'll take Minnesota.
Only thing I'm going to add here is right now, Philly has a 2-game lead after winning Thursday night against the Texans. Minnesota and Green Bay and Chicago, Detroit all play today. Minnesota has a 3.5 game lead in the NFC North right now. So
So depending on how you after today's
yeah, that's the only reason I was saying that. Like I said, I think
Gotcha.
not so much the Giants, but honestly, I think Dallas keeps it close in the East after the last couple of weeks. The Eagles have an easy schedule, would not surprise me if they
That
were
makes sense.
16-1, 15-2, but
I think they maybe can go up for you.
Eagles?
I would not want to if I was a fan.
I wouldn't either, but they're going to do some Barstool personalities and be really rich if it happens.
Yeah. All the fans in Philly are going to have their empty beer bottles ready to throw to the fans. Yeah, let's do this.
They're going to burn the underdog masks.
Yeah.
That's not the narrative. But to the next one, we got. So this is a fun little stat just to keep in mind for next week. It's
Talk about
Carolina.
this week.
It's Carolina versus Cincinnati. Over under is 42.5. Spread is Cincinnati -7. No Jamar Chase. No J.C. Horn.
I'm sorry, but didn't you say something about next week? Or am I tripping?
No,
he's not today.
Okay.
so
And then other than just checking for
scrolling
key
and
injuries,
texting.
I was checking for other key injuries.
I'm not very good.
But
And
little fun
multitasking.
fact about Carolina is if you play them, you lost your following week. It doesn't matter if you won or lost that game to Carolina, you lose the next week.
Snake bite.
There's 7 teams, and it's happened 7 times this season.
Really?
So with that being said, don't bet on the Bengals next week.
Sorry.
But to start this one off, I think Cincinnati, T. Higgins, Boyd, and that little whoever 11 was, he was kind of clicking last week.
Sorry, 11?
Yeah, that little white boy. I don't know.
I
Man.
don't know, Belichick.
But I just think Joe Burrow's got to come back after what happened last week. So we're going to be taking the Bengals
Trip.
-7. Thanks.
Sounds.
Slot machine.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the over because I think Josh Foreman is still going to have another 2-touchdown game.
People forget that he was damn near Heisman at Texas.
Fucking Derrick Henry Jr.
Literally, though, he proved it last year.
But Sam Eilinger didn't have any talent.
Y'all throwing
Receivers.
straight at my
Said
Zoe
receivers.
Hubbard, right?
Said receivers.
Speaking of that, Bajan ran for what, 200 last night?
Dude, freak. Love that guy.
Yeah, he's fucking. So is Roshan Johnson. Always had solid running backs. Anyways,
I'm gonna take the Bengals in this one. I think
Yeah.
even without Jamar, I think right now the Bengals' problem is what it was last year. It's defending against the pass rush, and while Carolina has a good pass rush, I just don't see it overcoming the rest of their issues. Like they're scrappy right now; they can compete in games, but I think that's more coming from when your coach gets fired. You're kind of just riding on a high of emotions. Like you're playing with reckless abandon. You're a team that has nothing to lose. Because you're probably going to bring in a new coaching regime. And right now, the word is, I think we brought it up last week, they're fighting for Steve Wilkes to keep that job. Just in this game, though, I think the Bengals are just going to start to put it together. Even with the injury to Chase, they still got a lot of talent on offense. So I'll just start it off Bengals over, and then what is the over on this?
42.
I'm actually going to hammer the over on that. I think since he's been, Carolina's been scoring. So
Yeah, offensively productive.
PJ is not bad.
He's been slaying his dick.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
Yeah,
Walks in, I'm
That
fuck you.
game-
Fixing his
Fuck you.
Points at the linebacker. Don't put my dicks in.
That game tire from last week might have been one of the prettiest
Oh,
throws
man.
I've seen in the NFL in years.
Oh, PJ can fucking sling it, bro. We saw that in the XFL.
Even last year when he played, he
Mhm.
stepped in for Carolina.
Colts drafted him.
Oh,
Just want to throw that out there.
And then gave up on him.
Yeah, it was just
No, we let him sign to the XFL.
so you gave up on him. Get in start, please, Ziggy.
No, it hurts.
You know, Sam Islinger.
Played one game as a Colt.
Yeah.
But
Oh, what could have made.
I think we're all on the same track there.
So one thing I was gonna mention about the Bengals though is
Fuck Jason.
well, I know neither of us gonna say, it, but we were just talking. No, you're good.
Neither of us. You've been fucking talking the whole time. Everybody
Well, I
shut
was
up.
just talking
Jason's
about
talking.
this. I was just talking about this game specifically.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna mention the fact that I think this week is a must-win for the Bengals in order for them to turn their shit around this season. They have the hopes of actually making a playoff run. They've looked like shit.
I mean, the whole division's kind of close.
It also shows you too. I mean, he's still have T. Higgins and still have Tyler Boyd, which were two very well established receivers in the league. So I feel like Joe Mixon, Hurst, like I think
Hurst is
you still have to be able to stir something up. Like I don't know. It comes down to coaching at that point, in my opinion. You got to be able to scheme you guys up to put them in a position to succeed. Anyways, Bengals and over.
JCP.
Panthers are on what, a 3-game winning streak right now?
They are. They've had some impressive
Yep.
wins.
So
Two.
Two.
They only
Oh,
have
is it?
2 wins.
or two.
They
two
just
game
lost
winning
last
streak.
week.
No, they didn't.
Oh, they
beat the
did because of
Falcons.
DJ Moore.
DJ
Remember he took his
fucking
helmet
won.
off?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Against the Falcons.
Yep. I thought they
You didn't see that tweet where it was
I
like
didn't.
heads up play by DJ Moore and
Yeah.
to take off his helmet in the end zone to make the field goal harder to give him a better shot to get CJ
Yep.
Stroud. What a franchise player.
Dude looked like shit yesterday. Sorry.
Nope, this is my upset of the week at the Panthers. Yep. The Bengals in the 4 games that they have lost, it's been when they're facing teams that have a heavy blitz and pass rush rate, and the Panthers are not a good football. They're not. I don't think anybody's calling them a
defense.
good football team, but where they do excel at is in the pass rush. I think they're going to put a ton of pressure on Burrow today. I think they're going to be in his face all day. It's going to be hard for him to move the offense down the field, and I think that they are going to come away with the upset. So I'm taking the Panthers.
Will Collins with the bait. I would
Put his
rather-
dick in. Alright.
Well, this is the game that I am most excited for the afternoon slate, just because
The afternoon slate?
morning slate, whatever.
Oh, I was like,
Whatever the time
motherfucker. I'm like,
Yeah, here's my Wednesday night primetime pick.
Thanksgiving,
Sorry,
right? We're
guys.
getting to our Thanksgiving picks, but the
lying.
game that I'm most excited for, just because of the matchup, this should have been prime time. They should have flexed this to Monday. But Sauce versus Stephon Diggs is gonna be a blast to watch. This is either where you find out how real Sauce is, or this just shows how much Diggs is head above everyone else. Because he shut down Jamar Chase, shut down Mark Andrews, shut down Lazard, which I really don't even know why I'm saying that name, but the list goes on. He's building his own island out there just like Reeves had. So, I'm excited for this game, but at the same point, you still have to worry about Josh fucking Allen. And it's the Jets. So, I'm going to be taking the under, because I don't think the Jets are going to score that much. I'm taking the Bills.
I'm going to do another little math equation here and then we'll kick it off to Jace. What happens when the quarterback who is worse in the league against the blitz goes up against the team who blitzes the most? Jace, can you answer that for me?
He gets fucked.
He gets I'm going to put my dick in, is what Buffalo's saying right now. Buffalo under the over-under, but I'm taking them on the 12.5 or whatever fucking points that they have. Buffalo's going to destroy it.
It's only 10.5 right now.
10.5, still. Hammer it. 2.5 touchdowns. 31-14.
I'm yeah.
31.
Similar outcome there, Cole. I think the Bills are going to dominate the Jets today. I think it's going to, the way I think the game's going to pan out is I think it's going to start out slower.
I said under.
Like there might be less than 18 combined points in the first half. Like I think it's going to start out slow, But the Jets' defense, as good as they are, they're going to be on the field all fucking day. They're going to get worn out. When they start to get worn out, they're just going to get absolutely melted by Josh Allen.
I agree with that 100%.
If they pull the upset today, I will happily eat my fucking home wins.
Speaking of upset,
Oh, yeah.
Over
J-E-T-S.
Oh.
Jets.
How
Are
much
you having a
shit-
stroke?
how
or
much
you-
shit-
I might.
Did Harper text you last night?
No,
Give you some
New York's
stats?
look fucking good this year, dude.
I would say it would be a
They
lot
obviously-
closer. I would say it'd be a lot
Buffalo's a
closer if they
fucking-
had BH.
I would agree, but I'm just saying for the sole fact it's a division game, the Jets defense is fucking money, and those dudes are going to go out there and try to prove something. Obviously, it's not likely to happen, but I'm going to be the one to say the Jets on the upset today and the under.
I like it.
And the only thing I'm going to point out is the Jets lost 5 games, lost to New England last week after Brees Hall. Before that, Denver 16-9 win, Green Bay 27-10. Miami's probably the impressive one, but you have to remember they didn't have Tua 40-17, and then 24-20 in Pittsburgh. Kind of a mixed bag. At this point, I think their defense is solid.
I think that Green Bay game was fucking
That's
money for
gonna
their
hinge it.
team
Yeah.
to go into Green Bay to fuck you. Like, say,
I
fuck
think
you,
this
Rodgers.
game. I think this game would be better if Flacco started.
One final thing I wanted to point out too is that Jets are 5-3, Bills are 6-1, which means that if the Jets had already had their bye week like the Bills did, and they did beat the Bills today, they'd be first in the division.
So,
Crazy.
Next
On
game, Siggy?
to your homers, calling it the race to 3 wins today. What's the game's called? The 2-5 Raiders versus the 2-6 Jags.
The Trace race.
The Trace race. I like that. The Trace race. So spread is actually Raiders
Love
minus
you,
2.5. Over under is 48. And I'm gonna ride with you today, just because Josh Jacobs has been that fucking dude this season, and the Jags have a shitty rush defense unless they're playing the Colts.
Give it to you, boys.
This is the one game I'm having a really hard time figuring out. Both teams have an explosive running back. I think that I'm going to give the edge to the Raiders just because I think they have more talent in the passing game than the Jags do. But overall, I can't think of two more balanced teams as far as like where their strengths and defenses are respectively. They both have sloppy defenses right now that are giving up points. They both have really good running backs. They both have just absolute vanilla quarterback play going on. I don't know. It's like watching two teams that
Try to fuck the football?
Hold on,
Yeah.
if you're calling that vanilla quarterback play, what's Russell Wilson right now?
I'm in. What the fuck?
he fucking just wanted to take a jab.
I was gonna say, our team sucks. I'm not saying
Speaking of, you got one of the most vanilla motherfuckers.
Yeah,
I got
I-
Sam Ellinger from Texas.
I still
what the
stand
fuck? Did I
Word
say
back.
anything about Russell Wilson? No, I'm not. Just because we're talking about the Raiders doesn't mean that.
I was just wondering
Oh
what
my-
you said.
oh
We're talking about the Raiders and the Jags.
Gotta get my high knees in here. There we go.
No,
There we go.
worse
Gotta
than
bend it out here.
On the drive-thru.
Like,
I wish we had vanilla quarterback play. We don't even have that. So
I know you're fucking coffee flavored ice cream. It looks like chocolate, but it's really shit.
exactly. So,
But one other thing I do want to say is historically,
I was like, what the fuck? I'm
Sorry.
like,
Let him go. No, shut up. It's like,
but Shaquille Griffin, he used to play on the Seahawks, and he is historically was giving up the most yards in his career to Devontae Adams.
How many times have they played before?
They played
once.
when they played the first
Like one
place,
time in 2018.
when they were playing the first place schedule. They played each other a lot.
Yeah,
Green Bay
Shaq
and
was
Seattle
super
played like
good, yeah.
every year for like 4 years.
Go pull it up. I want you to pull it up. How many times was he
Anyways.
matched up on him, and how many yards did he actually give up for the sole fact of him actually just putting on defense? Yeah, think about that. While you're looking that up, though, Jace was talking before you
No,
were
that-
so
that-
rudely interrupted.
That was pretty much the end of my. That was just. I feel
I,
like these teams are the same team playing each other.
Yeah, for this one, I truly don't know who to pick. I mean, fuck. Las Vegas at least has something to play for, I guess. Not really, but maybe. The hope of.
Fuck you. Listen, does it suck right now? Yeah, but until we're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, that can fucking blow me.
I think I respect it. I respect it. I truly do.
Yeah, take the math out of it, and then I will believe we will not be a playoff team. We just need one minor player. We just need one minor player to go kill somebody, and we are fucking set for a run.
We are set. I promise you.
set.
Someone's due for something around here.
Yeah.
Right? I know someone's loading up Instagram Live with their fucking AR.
No, I think at this point, I mean, we're middle of the pack. I think we can go on a little bit of a run. We'll probably end up actually missing the playoffs. We're not. Defense is our big crux. And I think right now Josh McDaniels is not running the offense well. Might just take time. If it's going to work with McDaniels, clearly we're with him for a second. Mark Davis said he's going to stick with him. I think Carr's going to be the quarterback. Honestly, I think we're just really rough in growing pains right now. And yeah, the easy thing to say is, let Carr do this and let Carr kind of go off and do what he would do to be successful. But I don't know. I guess that would just be too easy of logic. So, in my ever-dying Homer fandom, I'm going to take the 5% left that I do believe in this team and say this. This is where we have to fucking turn it around. This has to be it.
So this is literally the last.
Yeah, last week I was like, this, either we win or we're in fucking trouble. Well, this is fucking trouble. So
We're
if we
there.
lose, yeah, I'm ready to start discussing finishing top 10 in the draft and start my draft prep.
Yeah.
Because at that point, 2-6 is just really hard to come back from. But still, our schedule is not hard. We've shown that we can do all the things that it takes to win, especially against a good team. The other problem is, though, is right now we're just the Vikings of last year. We're snake bitten. We can't win one-score games, and yeah, not confident, but same as ever, Raider Nation, baby.
Just win, baby.
Just fucking win or just die, one or the other. No, I'm going to go, fuck it, this game's going to be a blowout, though. 38-35. I think the Raiders come back with some piss, but also, dude, the Jags can score. Neither of these teams' defenses are good, and it'll be a fun game.
It should be.
So
It's nice. It's not windy down there in, Central Florida.
Shaquille Griffin's on IR.
There's this whole argument.
Oh, that'd be weird.
Get his brother out there.
That's the 1-8
Yep.
I'm a piece of shit.
Oh, I was just
Yeah.
waiting actually to make a piece of shit joke. Like, I was going to be like, hands down, I think he actually might not.
Fuck you.
Well, with those puns being said, on to the next one.
I got to hand it to you, Sigmund. It's a good
Shut the fuck up! Oh, god damn it.
Alrighty.
That was a good one.
We got
They got the nub or two rated defense.
the number two.
Or two.
Love that. But we got some teams. Their records mirror each other. We got the 3-5 Bears versus the 5-3 Dolphins. Spread is -4 to the Dolphins. Over under is 46.5. Now we talked about this a little bit in the pregame before we got to the games, and about how we think that addition of Claypool is going to do. But we didn't talk about how well we think that addition of Jeff Wilson and Bradley Chubb is going to do over there in Miami. Jeff Wilson, someone that already knows the Mike McDaniels system, a little younger, just as elusive as Raheem Mostert out there, and then you give yourself a Bradley Chubb to go off the edge and really show what he can do. I
That was
think
a good trade
Miami's
for
going
both
to be
teams, I think.
exciting.
It was. The big thing, though, too, and I feel like I've even heard this from most Denver fans, Chubb really didn't pan out to even scratch the surface of his potential until this year, as is. And so now he's going into a different system. Not to say it's not going to pan out or anything, but the protection could change, though, too. And Jeff Wilson, I mean, that's just a guy. They have 6 different running backs. Jeff Wilson's going to eat behind Mostert again. And then what did they ship out? Edmonds to Denver, right? Edmonds to Denver?
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know. Miami's going to fuck on them. They just lost, Cool. The Bears got Chase Claypool, but they just lost Roquan Smith, who's the leading tackler in the entire league.
Well, they lost both of them in a matter of weeks.
And Robert Quinn.
So, yeah, Miami's going to fuck, I guess, is what I was
That's
thinking.
where I was going to kind of circle around to it. I think the biggest storyline of this game that is kind of getting swept under the rug is the departure of Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith. I think that's going to be the biggest difference maker here. Miami has already been extremely dynamic with Tyreek and Waddle, and I love what the Bears are doing in the last few weeks, retailoring the offense around Justin Fields' strengths, letting him run, using his dual threat to their advantage to open up the offense. They're doing a great job, and I want to see them continue to be successful, but they are going to get fucking shellacked today.
Yeah.
They are. It's going to be bad. So,
Oh, with that being said, I'll be taking the under in Miami spread.
do over and smashing it over. Miami alone.
Miami might drop
Yeah,
30 for
Yeah,
us.
no.
Oh, so you boys don't believe in the Bears, huh?
No, we sure don't, Bob.
I don't know what's going on with their defense. They started following back in '85 when we had a really good team. We were running the 46, and now the Bears' problem is allowing under 46 points a game. Just like Tommy's registered heart attacks, I'm not calling for 1 touchdown. I'm not calling for 2 or 3. Probably we're going for a whole 5 touchdowns by the Miami Dolphins offense today.
Oh, that's a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm not usually a fan of, pineapple on pizza, but we're going full Hawaiian today. Tua's going to have all 5 of them.
That was pretty good. That was great.
But still call it a deep dish. Justin Fields gets over 200 total yards. Yeah, he throws in a tutty there in the extra time. And it's going to be the boy Chase Claypool, who I saw just working out shirtless downtown Chicago this week, which is really bold considering all the gun violence that's down there. But nonetheless, I think the final score, we're going to go 41 to 10. The Bears are going to get shellacked.
Lynn?
He started us. Lynn?
Just make sure I didn't skip it.
I said, yeah, Miami's going to fuck on him. He's supposed to
Alright, so we got
I'm gonna give you the
Piece
fuck.
of shit.
You want some
the
fuck?
shittiest. This might be one of the most boring games to watch.
I already talked about Colts. It's alright.
That was good.
But we got the Lions Packers.
I don't think it's gonna be boring
Yeah,
at all.
that
that's
would be an
gonna be
interesting game.
I think
Here's the
even
result.
when both of those teams were decent, those games were still boring. to watch.
They would fucking score 38 on each other. What
So,
do you mean?
What do you mean when they were both
Matt
decent?
Flynn would go in and drop 4 touchdowns at the end of the year because the Packers already close to the division.
I'm
Those
gonna-
games are fun to watch.
I'm going to kick this one off because I think that. Read the lines off so you can make that up.
49.5 spread Packers -4.
Jay's cut signals off. Whoa. How the table.
How the tables have turned. I think this is. I'm not going to take the over. 49's a pretty heavy line there, but you're going up. You got the 31st ranked defense against running backs and the 29th ranked defense against running backs. So I think this is going to be the Swift and Jones show. There's going to be a ton of.
Why does that sound like a car crash injury attorney?
It kind of does.
Swift and Jones, attorney at law.
Attorney at law.
I love it.
I know it's like a 2 a.m.
The term
infomercial.
attorney.
Have you or a loved one been in a recent car accident and need financial compensation to deal with your injuries? Call Swift and Jones, guaranteed for over 250 combined yards and 3 touchdowns this week.
So I just think that the majority of the damage is going to be on the ground. I do think the Packers snap their some shit. But
If they don't win this game, they're in
Big trouble.
Big trouble.
This is the first time they started out 3-5 since 2006.
I'm Rogers, dude. I was so fucking livid.
I turned down Jeopardy for this.
And you can't bring in one fucking guy in offense to try and help
You
me
be-
out.
Being fucking Tahiti doing ayahuasca right now instead of here with you sons of bitches greasing my
Fighting
ass
for
off
my
in Green Bay. Trying to throw to receivers who didn't fucking pass college calculus.
breaking news, boys! Nobody won the Powerball. It's about to go to $2 billion.
I'm buying a shitload of tickets. God.
So I'll be taking the Lions.
I'm actually riding out with you.
Well, I get to go on
I think Green Bay has to do it. Aaron Jones last week looked like a man possessed. How they didn't win the game, I think it's on passing attack. But at this point, we just kind of gotta. I think Green Bay has to accept. Aaron Rodgers has to accept this is Aaron Jones' team if they want to win. If they want to win, just how the team is set up, their line is good. They still have a good line. Aaron Jones just seems, even though he's not a big back, to always just move forward. Like last week, like the word I used to describe him was torpy. Like he runs quick and fast and low, and like I said, if they're going to win, I think at this point it just needs to be based off of a play action run based team. It's no longer Rodgers and Adams and the boys passing and Jones and Dillon kind of getting their yards in between. You flip that around now. I think you base it off the run, and that's how they win this week.
Yep.
Is by basing off Aaron Jones into a side point A.J. Dillon. So I got the Packers obviously, but I still am going to take the over. I think it's a high score. Very high score.
I just kind of want to see them lose, so I'm going to last.
I said mine nearby, yeah. What was the next one, Stogie?
Last morning game is
We haven't got to the morning games yet.
We have a lot of fucking morning
There's only
games.
2 afternoons.
2 afternoon games.
Seattle.
Yeah, Saints, Cardinals, and Rams.
Oh, okay.
Chargers Falcons. Spread is Chargers minus 2.5. Over under is 49.5.
Chargers have no money though. Their
Patterson
top
back.
wide receiver is Palmer actually playing.
DeAndre Carter.
Yeah, DeAndre Carter, who I will say some playmaking ability, so probably fantasy prop him.
Is AJ
Jace?
Terrell still out?
Yes.
Is he?
I was gonna actually just kick it to you.
Yeah, the Chargers are hurting. You know, I look at this game very much in the same light that I was looking at the Colts and Patriots earlier, in the sense that you're going to have 2 offenses that are probably going to be really struggling just to get first downs, and that I think this is going to be a low scoring affair. I think we're going to see a lot of field goals in this game. Gerald Everett and Nelson Eckler are going to be the difference makers on the Chargers side of the ball. Cordell Patterson, is he back or is he playing today? Okay, so
So
keep
like
an eye on
Algier,
him.
I think make an impact though.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know. You know, Algier and Huntley haven't been terrible, but neither have been explosive like Patterson has been.
It's different.
So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna honestly, Arthur Smith is a terrible coach. He really is.
I don't know. I'm actually kind of impressed.
He does not utilize Kyle Pitts at all. That is your biggest offensive weapon, and you target him 3 times a game. Like, how are you expecting to win when you're doing that? And so I just don't believe in Arthur Smith. I don't believe in either coaches, to be honest with you, but I do think the Chargers are going to pull this one off.
I think due to the fact that Atlanta's number 1 now in the division after last week's win, actually, I do like Arthur Smith. I can't disagree, though, with the whole Kyle Pitts situation.
He's kind of tripping over himself in the wins, though. They're not winning. You know, I don't know.
No, I feel you, though, but that's like, it's in the same sense that's kind of how I feel about Philly, though. Like, but when you win games, you win games. It's tough to win in the NFL, so you can't necessarily discount it. But when there's a stretch of those, like, there's this reason. DJ Moore, obviously, last week, taking his helmet off, moving the field goal back, game over. So there's different scenarios, but Marcus Mariota, no Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts is truly your only wide receiver type of threat, and then Patterson. So, I mean, honestly, to be where they're at, to be
like
first in the division, though,
I was about to say, why are you shading Drake London like that?
Oh, so I honestly just joking, kind of forgot.
Yeah, well, has he caught a pass?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what
You
I'm saying.
kind of forget he's even on the team.
Yeah.
I think the hard part with them winning some games right now, though, is you are taking away from what might
Because
because at this point, are you finishing in the CJ Bryce area? And at what point do you maybe start looking to turn the keys over to Desmond? Because he was looking good. And I'm not saying Mariota has lost the job, more so than for the future of your franchise if you have a rookie quarterback who honestly is a better passer. I think the reason Mariota is still starting is because he's a better playmaker at quarterback and they don't believe in their offense at all. But if you were truly trying to tail passing, which your offense is built for, with fucking Kyle Pitts, Cordero Patterson, and Drake London, like I don't get why maybe Ritter hasn't been given even a shot yet. You know what I mean? Like, is he really that bad in practice?
I don't think it's the quarterback though. I don't even think Ritter would succeed. I think
It's Arthur Smith.
It's Arthur Smith and their offensive coordinator. They need a new offensive line in that city. They do.
their with that being said, I think their defense is extremely underrated.
Yeah.
It's a big part of the reason they had any games.
Oh, the Raiders straight up just spent the week in Florida. They're like, fuck this, we're not going back to Vegas. None of you boys get to gamble this week. Gambling's for scores, and you guys didn't do that last week.
I think even with everything going on there, the Chargers will still win that because of Austin Eckler. I don't like the spread as much though, because I think they only win by like.
I'm gonna hammer. Actually, the more I'm thinking about it, DeAndre Carter finds his way a couple of times.
That's why I asked. if
I think
Terrell's
he
winning.
honestly goes for a big touchdown.
He's like IR.
I think he said he was in IR. Oh yeah, he just got put on the IR last week. Actually, right?
No, both teams are hurting right now.
Oh,
I think, but
it's
Atlanta's
like,
front
dang.
seven, though, regardless, is fucking nasty. So I think they actually might be able to slow Eckler down a little bit today. That's going to be their only hope. Unless they can open up the passing game. It'll be an interesting game. It's really tough to gauge, in my opinion.
What are you taking it?
I'm honestly going to take Atlanta.
There.
I'm taking Atlanta in the over.
Alright.
Chargers defense hasn't looked good by any means either, so.
Well, we got 4 games left. And it's only 2 afternoon ones, which is going to be really shitty for football watching.
Nap time.
Basketball over too.
Yeah. Good point. But
Seattle.
we got Seattle Cardinals. Over under is 49 even with Seahawks +2.
I'll take Seattle on the under.
I think
Seattle's +2?
Mm-hmm. Seattle's the underdog in this game. They're giving it to the Cardinals. Vegas still does not believe in Seattle. Still.
That's
It's free money.
in my
it's
opinion.
free money right there. But this is the same scenario, kind of like how we had with Sauce versus Diggs. We get Woolen versus Hopkins tonight, and I think that is going to be a matchup.
I think Hop's gonna school him. Hop is just that dude.
Yes, you know, I school Ramsey.
Like, no offense, but even against Sauce, I think he'd still get like 6 catches for 80 yards. And I don't think
Hop's
Woolen is
just
that
different
level. I
than
think
Woolen.
Woolen is
I think
physical.
Woolen gives him the.
Bigger body, which is
I
nice.
think with the bigger body, Woolen's going to give him one of the best matchups he's had in a while because he's 6'4" too.
Yeah, and that's why Hop's going to finesse his ass around him. He's going to win with cuts and route running, and he's going to win with just being a smarter veteran. That's where I think Woolen is going to get schooled. I think this is going to be the, hey, rookie, welcome to the NFL, and this game will make him better for years to come because he'll look back at the game
Something
tape
to
of how
learn
he got
from.
roasted by D-Hop. Dude, Hop, you're not stopping him right now. Even when he's covered, he's open. Check it.
Yeah, Seattle on the under.
No, I'm taking Seattle under as well.
I'm taking
Seattle, but the over.
I'm taking Arizona. I think that D-Hop's only been back for what, 2 games now?
But he's got like 21 receptions and over
Yeah,
280 yards.
so here's the thing. This offense hits different
When
when
he's
Hop is in
good.
the game. And what do we know? What's been true about Murray and the Cardinals for the past 3.5 seasons, right? Every year they are a shit team for 8 games, and they're an explosive, dominant team for 8 games. They were 7-0 to start last year.
Yep.
They've struggled this first half.
Called it first of all.
Hop's back. I think the second half of the season they turn into that elite Cardinals team we're used to. It's maybe called a hunch. I just think that they're really going to turn it around. I think they're going to be fighting for first place in the division.
I think Seattle's defense is a lot better than anyone's giving them credit for.
Oh, who's-
They are. I'm not shitting on their defense. I believe in the Cardinals moving forward.
I think it's going to be. I think this is going to be our afternoon game. Like, kind of beginning of the year, you're like, oh, Seahawks, Cardinals, whatever. But Rams, Buccaneers, no. I'm excited for the Seahawks play the Cardinals. The Cards are an interesting team. They're fun to watch. Obviously, Call of Duty coming out. I don't know if I believe in Kyler or not, but I believe in
Seriously,
D-Hop. So
That's real. That's real.
The worst part is we get to the next game, which is the Rams Bucks, and when you looked at this at the beginning of the year, this looked like it would be like a game of the year type caliber. And then you see how both of these teams are playing, and you're like, do I even turn this one on?
I call this the pudding cup because usually 2 o'clock is pudding time for all the old people at the nursing home, and that's what these 2 teams have turned into. It's just old fucking teams with old quarterbacks.
Well, they're giving the Rams +3, so I'm actually going to take that. I'm going to take the Rams +3 and the under at 42.5.
I agree.
I'm still waiting for Divorce Tom to blow up, but I think with the announcement this week that they're going to be kind of moving forward on that. I got the Bucks.
Well, how do you feel?
The Rams just haven't looked good. There's just something off, and at least at this point, the Bucks have at least a couple of times kind of like been like, oh, okay, they're still there. And the one thing that Brady continues to defy logic on in the past 10 years is to be a quarterback over the age of 35, but yet somehow improve as the season goes on. Because Brady, first couple of weeks of the season is hit or miss. Either he's on fire, and then he goes through a little bit of a soft spot, or he starts off decent, but bad for Tom Brady status, and then we start questioning like we did 2 years ago, and then he has a great season, wins the Super Bowl. I just think they were so fucking hurt. Still trying to tailor your offense after losing AB late last season. I think that hurt him, but he's got Godwin back. He's got Evans. I think the team's starting to look a little bit healthier. So I got the Bucs here, honestly, especially at home.
I think we all took the Rams except for Cole.
One thing I just want to point out in this game, kind of similar to the Raiders and Jags. I think you have two teams that are. It's kind of odd how they're mirroring each other. You got both teams won a Super Bowl in the last 2 years. Both teams in recent years have had dominant offenses and dominant defenses, but now they're almost in the same boat where their defenses are kind of a shade of what they had, and their offense is struggling. It's almost weird. This is another game where it's almost two identical teams.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be I think it'll be a good game, but I don't think it's the matchup going in that we were excited for. But I don't think that at all doesn't mean it won't be a good game. You know what I mean? Like watching two football teams play a game, it'll be close. It'll be competitive, but we expected this game to be probably 6-1 versus 5-2.
I think Stafford's secretly been injured this whole year.
I think the elbow everybody talked about.
Or not, I mean secretly in the sense the team's covering up how severe it is.
I watched, there was some guy on the NFL Network that was right away in the beginning of, it was right before the NFL season started. He said, don't even think about betting on the Rams to be a Super Bowl favorite this year. He said Stafford's elbow is a lot larger of a problem than they're letting you believe it is.
Yeah. Oh, poor Rex Ryan. He must have lost it.
That's what I was thinking.
He has to dress up as Bill Belichick. That's funny.
They maintained him for years, both in New York and Buffalo.
We got Chiefs Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this was actually just reported. Tannehill may be out for another absence. So, with that being said, hammer the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Plus,
I really think it's just the
Chiefs minus 13. 12.5 is the spread, so I'll take minus 13. And the over. Derrick Henry's going to get in the end zone twice, and Patty's going to have at least 5 touchdowns.
I would say 5. That's a lot. Maybe 4. Don't dog on the
I'm
Titans
saying
defense.
I'm saying offensive total.
I don't know.
Dude, do you
Their
realize
front line
how
isn't bad. I'll give you that.
injured that defense is? Bud Dupree's out. Harold Landry's out for the year.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. They do still have Simmons.
I just
Like Jeffrey
5
Simmons.
No, I feel you. That's
a heavy line to jump to.
I'm not saying Pat's gonna have 5 on his own, but the offense total, the Chiefs' offense as a whole, 5 touchdowns.
You did say that. But
Yeah.
This
You
is
said
not
at
dogging the
least 5,
Chiefs
so-
at all, but with Derrick Henry in tow and the ability to control the ball a bit, I don't know, the Titans to win this game, but once again, something about a 12.5 point spread is just so weird. The Chiefs could fuck around and just be up 3 touchdowns. And then the Titans just score a garbage time one because, prevent defense, yada, yada. I think this game is dominant by the Chiefs, but I don't know. I like the over, but I also don't like a 12.5 point spread. Just
With
on it
Malik
because
starting, if Ryan Tannehill was out there, I would definitely agree with you. But
Robert Woodburn will.
if Malik starts, it's
going to be ugly.
yeah.
I think what it's going to boil down to is if the Chiefs' ability to keep Derrick Henry in check, because if they can't, the Titans, what they've been doing all years, they have just been bleeding the clock away and keeping the ball. They've been keeping the ball away from their opponents. So, as great as that Chiefs' offense is, if
sometimes we
they're
start
all
too fast too.
if they're not seeing the field,
You keep them
if the Titans are bleeding 7 minutes away every drive, it's gonna limit the Chiefs' ability to put up points and build that dominant lead up. So I think it's all gonna boil down to, obviously, I think we're all in agreement here. The Chiefs are gonna shut down the Titans, but I think it could be closer than we think if they can't keep Derrick Henry in check.
that's my only hope of them keeping it within 11, 12 points.
Yeah, it's Derrick Henry. Moving on to Monday,
Feeling good
Yeah,
on Monday.
Kadarius Toney, that's gonna be fun to watch.
we got
Baltimore Saints, they're actually giving the Ravens only -1.5. Over under is 47.
Rashad Bateman's out for the year. The
Yep.
other ship wide receivers. J.P. Dobbins still out. Saints run defense is stupid nice. They held Josh Jacobs to 43 yards last week.
Yep.
They're the
Draft game, I think. This is another episode.
Mark Andrews is doubtful, so you know what that
He's
means?
not going to be playing.
Isaiah's
Isaiah
likely
likely.
to have 80 yards in the touchdown.
Yeah. Isaiah's likely to have 80 yards in touchdown.
Isaiah is like
Which I need to go through and swap all those out. So
Yeah,
But also, it looks like Jarvis Landry is questionable for
I think he's going to suit up, but if he can come back in too, though, that'd be
Michael
huge.
Thomas's toe.
He's
Apparently hurts more than being shot in the leg.
here's the real question. Battle of the Purples. Do I start Hawkinson week 1 with the
No.
Vikings,
you
or
never
do
start.
I?
Don't start a tight end first week on a new team.
The
Dude.
Vikings'
I would with
usage
Hawk.
of said position is what scares me the most with him. Is I feel like he's either going to blow up there or he's going to completely fall out.
It's like he won't be their number 1. That's obviously Jefferson, but I think he will eat into Thielen's production.
I'm just he has the opportunity. That's what I'm saying. It's going to go one way or the other. Either they'll let you capitalize on what they got in him, or they'll just completely fuck it out.
But with that being said, I like Lamar more than Andy Dalton, so I'd be taking the under,
No, let's see.
the Ravens, and spread.
Fuck that. Andy Dalton used to play the Ravens all the time in Cincinnati.
I think
He's
the
going to come fuck on him.
I think the Saints are going to upset the Ravens.
Could be a good game. Chris Olave is having a very underrated
Ooh.
season, in my opinion.
Speaking of Ravens, boys, so I had Mark Andrews in my CBS league. I have two options: I have Isaiah Likely or Evan Ingram against the Raiders.
I would do
Ingram's
Isaiah
actually
Likely.
had a decent
Huh?
year.
I would do Likely. Likely's going to be his number 1 target besides Duvernay.
That's true. That's true. There's more weapons.
Even if Andrews does play.
Well, Likely's been working his way in the offense, regardless of Mark Andrews playing or not. He just fits into that role when Mark Andrews is out. He's still a receiving option, the number 2 tight end. They still flex him out. They still find ways to put him on the field. So now that Mark Andrews is most likely out. But yeah, I would start Likely. I just swapped him in for Hawkinson in the Fishing Elephant Dynasty League. So.
All right.
And then for a little bonus that we've never done before, this Thursday, we got Falcons Panthers. Spread is -1.5. Over under is 41.
This Thursday we have Falcons and Panthers. Didn't they just play last week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Remember, they
Weird.
said, how can we give Amazon the worst Thursday night NFL schedule anyone's ever seen and make you pay $1 billion per game?
that's true. I'm just saying, I'm going to call this one a revenge game.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah. I think DJ Moore keeps his helmet on and they'll win the game.
Another reason for why the Falcons lose this week.
Because they're playing.
Because they played the Panthers last week.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then they're going to lose on Thursday and lose the week after that.
Yeah, they're about to go on a 40 and losing streak. That
Yeah.
sucks.
That does suck for Falcons.
Poor Falcons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Carolina gets it with the spread of +1.5, and I think the over is going to hit at 41 because that last game was explosive. They put up like 70 something points
Yeah.
between the two. So that's where I'm at.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and run some figures on this shirt. They go so glass coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diamondback and they got some double nuts.
It's
Yeah.
like that, huh?
And it's like
It is
like
like
that.
We're going to sit and talk on fantasy.
Oh, Wayne could do so. We put the mic on Juice.
Well, he'll be deucing out, all right? This is not here.
Fantasy football. I can tell my girlfriend about this fake team I drafted of real people and watch her roll her fucking eyes. And then,
Yeah,
just kidding. She doesn't roll her eyes. She just looks at me. She's like, "Good job."
So apparently I
Proud of
won
you."
$80 at FanDuel last week and didn't realize it. I went to
Oh,
go join
there you
Mike's
go.
team and I'm like, how the hell do I have $90 in my account? Oh shit.
Fuck happy, dude.
Yeah, I don't play FanDuel anymore now that I've discovered
True.
Prize Picks.
I know.
Yeah.
Same.
Like, did the,
FanDuel sitting over there with cobwebs. You
It's
still have
literal.
$7 left in your account.
I don't like it anymore now because like with Prize Picks, it seems so much easier to win money. FanDuel, you
Well,
spend
you just-
$5 and you have a 1 in 500
Exactly. So you're going against yourself.
Yeah, but the problem is you're playing group fantasy football, and the problem in that is none of us pick or throw in the amount of stupid fucking lineups to where you get like someone, like a practice squad receiver going off for a 2-5 team for fucking 30 points, and all of a sudden, like, that's what make or breaks you actually being in the money. For Prize Picks, I'm like, yeah, I know which players I'm betting on. Like, it's parlay betting. I'd much more prefer parlay betting as opposed to fantasy betting, because fantasy betting is fantasy football. You can predict 30% of it, but 70% of it is purely a crapshoot. Yeah, exactly. So, speaking of, though, as far as an underrated, I'm looking for two others to throw this in. I'm doing a little receiving and underrated receiving rushing prop. Got Josh Palmer, who is in, by the way.
Yeah.
So where I was at previously on DeAndre Carter, I'm going to switch my energy to Josh Palmer on that one. I think he's going to have a big game blow up, but he's at 55.5. I'm going to hammer the over on that. I got Romeo Doubs over 46.5. Even though it's a rushing game, he's still been targeted. He's going to get targets in that offense. And then I'm actually going to table what we were talking pre-show. Zay Jones over 43.5. Revenge game against the Raiders.
Yeah. The Zay Jones one is big because, obviously we understand the struggles with the Raiders defense, but Zay Jones has been getting targeted at least 8 times a game in the last 5 games. And so when you're getting 8 targets against the Raiders, how do you not hit 40 yards?
Yeah.
It's
He's pitched out.
that's almost like a guarantee. But then again, I should probably smash the under because it seems like every time there's an absolute smash play, it doesn't hit.
Next, new week with Chase Claypool in the offense, maybe a little bit more spread. Do we like Cole Kmet of over 19.5 receiving yards? 120-yard reception. Just remember, their secondary is decent.
It's good.
They got, obviously, Bradley Chubb up there on the front line, but they're still kind of a little bit weak at coverage linebacker.
I think it's all going to – I would have to see his actual usage and his trends in that sense because –
It's tricky because he's so usually missed, but
see that outline?
yeah.
He's got to go
Go through it, my friend. So,
I gotta
we go relieve that.
clean and get ready for these fucking games. And a nap.
That's the hard part, too, is he's only gotten 2 or 3 targets in the past 3 games.
So let's see here. Workload percent for Cole Kmet. Over the last his workload's been declining since week 5. He's gone from 19 to 12 to 14 to 9% of the team's target share, and I'm gonna hit the under on that one just based off that alone. He's just seen a complete decline in volume, and that's with the Bears' offense starting to turn around and come alive.
Getting better.
So
Productive. You gents have a good one today.
You too.
As well, brother man.
And go Chiefs.
Gross. Gross. Enjoy your layup of a game tonight, you sick fuck.
Thinking of you.
I just walk into work. I don't want to talk about it. Last week.
Yeah.
DJ Moore over 65.5. Is it Cincy?
That one could hit, yeah. Especially after last week, Moore's pissed off about that Falcons game. I could see him coming out there with it. He's a great wide receiver, man, and his talent's just been wasted on that team.
All the way outside that. Any other bets we like?
So I'll just run through kind of what mine.
Is Waller out?
Yep.
Alright.
Hammer Moreau, too, by the way. He's at like 31.5 receiving yards. Hammer him.
Talked about it earlier. Gerald Everett should be an absolute smash over 48 receiving yards. Outside of Austin Eckler, he is their best receiver on that team, and they've been running through him. It's a good lineup too. I like that. Thank you. So if you guys want a couple easy ones, and I'm trying to figure out why the lines are here, but Khalil Herbert, he has yet to rush for under 45 yards in a game, and his line right now is 40.5 against Miami, who have been a terrible defense. If you want a free
Khalil's been free money on Prize Picks.
Yep, free money, Khalil Herbert, he's going to hit the
No,
over.
Paolo Banchero has been free money on Prize Picks.
No, he fucked me on a goddamn parlay by a point.
So
He balled the fuck out last night.
yeah, Prize Picks has Derrick Henry for an anytime touchdown. That's going to be an easy one. Same with Travis Kelce. He has not had a touchdown in 3 weeks. He's going to get his tonight.
ETN or who?
Travis Kelce.
Oh
He's
yeah.
got a touchdown in 3 weeks. He's going to get his tonight.
It's because
the
he
fact
scored
that
it.
they put Derrick Henry in there for just 1 touchdown hits. That should be a smash. Same with Travis Etienne should get a touchdown. Tyreek Hill. I don't see how he doesn't. There's just a
I
lot.
don't see how Aaron Jones doesn't either.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Kenneth
props on
Walker.
prize picks that should be hitting today.
All right, here's got to be a. Well, you can't do all the touchdowns together, can you?
Yeah.
I tried earlier.
To where every pick is a touchdown.
Yeah.
I thought you could. I don't know. I guess I've never tried it. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to.
I tried earlier. Oh, yeah, just did. So, block of the day, yeah. Travis Etienne, Tyreek Hill, Aaron Jones, Kenneth Walker, and Derrick Henry all have to score at least 1 touchdown. That's, yeah.
Easy money. Easy money.
All right. I have to put 2, so we're going to cut it.
Gonna cut it.
That way
All
we
right.
can get our 2
Hey.
cousins.
Have a great day, you guys. Thanks for tuning in.